How's it going, guys? It's Key, back at it again with the boys. We got Trent.
Hello.
Aiden.
Hi!
And Bo.
Hello.
We're back again. This time we are on episode 6 of the Manga Panel podcast. And how are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling?
Awesome.
We're doing good. Lots of
Another
manga stuff to talk
Fine
about.
Monday morning. What was everyone's favorite chapter from this week?
Ooh.
That is tough.
Do you want to start us off,
It
Key?
is a very tough one.
Well, since I just read it, sure. Honestly, kind of digging Yozakura Family right now
Nice.
for the chapter
Okay.
this week.
Interesting.
I like what they're going for. I like how they're kind of introducing the gold spies and everything. I think it's gonna set up for some like interesting characters that we're hopefully gonna see do some really, really awesome things. I almost want to see what I almost kind of want to see what my least favorite chapter is, but I don't want to be mean either. So I'm just gonna let someone else go.
Okay. There wasn't a chapter this way. Elusive Samurai was really good. We'll talk about that towards the end. I'm gonna say Earthchild just because it was a mind fuck. Like I have no idea what's even happening anymore, and I'm here for it.
There we go.
Was pretty good.
I think for me, this is really tough. I'm torn between two, but I think just because I think I'm just gonna go with this one because it was I really, really just like enjoyed it. And it's just my personal favorite was Witch Watch this week. I thought it was a really good Witch Watch chapter this week. I absolutely love that one.
Before I cut you off, Trent. No, sorry.
Yeah.
I realized Dr. Stone was also this week. I don't count that because it's not weekly. Otherwise, obviously, Dr. Stone's the answer.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it was a really good one. But I'm actually gonna say Ruri Dragon. I think I really liked this week, and it actually made me more excited for the rest of the series than the first couple chapters did.
Yeah. That was up there for me. I really was gonna.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, man, am I gonna be the first one to say Ruri Dragon? Trent beat me to it, but I'm excited to talk about Ruri Dragon for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
My answer actually. I forgot because like I've read Undead Unluck like first today, and I completely forgot like all about it because I stacked everything else on top of it. It's what happens when you start reading literally everything.
yeah.
But Undead Unluck
Yeah.
had like an awesome chapter this week because we got Fuko back, and that's
nice.
amazing. He's like the best
I don't know what
character.
that means,
But yay, Undead Unluck, W. Anyways, moving on, I guess. I guess we're jumping right into the rankings. Aiden,
Yeah.
you got pulled up.
Yeah, let's talk about the rankings. Obviously, this week we got the amazing official confirmed announcement in the magazine of Mashele getting an anime, so it was lead and color pages this week. Great to see Mashele right front and center, them bursting out of the Jump TV because they're punching through into live action, I guess. Or not live action, but anime.
Live action.
Maybe live action soon.
Yeah, because Roboco is apparently getting
crazy
one.
like that.
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah, 2. It's game like 2.
Oh, okay.
And then
Why not?
Wow.
Akane Banashi right up in the front of the magazine, which means it's ranking really, really
Crazy.
well, which is
Yeah.
good to see. Happy to see it. Then our My Hero sitting usually where he does. The Elusive Samurai, which is great to see this far up front. Sakamoto Days. I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen Sakamoto Days kind of this far back, but it's interesting, especially with no Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece in the magazine. We've got Witch Watch up front, quite near the front. Aliens Area, Undead Unluck with some color pages, great to hear. Ruri Dragon, PPP, Blue Box with color pages. I swear it's either Akane Banashi or Blue Box has got a color page every damn issue. Great to see it though, they're amazing. I feel like Ruri Dragon's doing the next color page every other issue. And then you've got Yozakura, me and Roboco, Super Smartphone. Why so far back? No! And then,
No!
Highschool Family, Kokosei, a one shot that we didn't get to read, Doron Dororon, and Earthchild. And let's talk about Earthchild. Bo, you said it was your favorite chapter. Let's kick us off.
Not counting the Dr. Stone.
Not counting Dr. Stone. Yeah.
We say this every week. The series keeps impressing me by just doing new shit. I don't even know what even is happening at the end of this chapter. You see Reisuke, whatever, how you ever say it, at the end, and he's in like this weird dimension talking to some god cute girl.
Yeah.
And I am so interested to see how they're gonna wrap this up, or not even wrap it up. I don't even know anymore. I have no fucking clue.
I don't even know.
all over the place.
I feel like next chapter he's squaring up with God or something.
And like they're in like this digital looking dimension, but at the end it looks like it's like censored bars almost.
Yeah,
I don't need, dude. I
It
genuinely
reminds me of the
have
mind
no
wiping
idea.
that happened at the start of the series.
It's really interesting. The one detail I just have to immediately point out, second to last page, the lollipop she was sucking on is Earth.
It's the Earth,
which is fucking really cool. Crazy to imagine
her hair is also the ocean.
Yeah.
I think.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize
that's a
that.
really cool detail.
Yeah. It's crazy to imagine God as a cute anime schoolgirl, but here we are.
No, it's not. That's not
Yeah, I can see it.
No, it's Haruhi Suzumiya. That's what it is.
Bro, my favorite line is basically how he just told the Earth to go fuck itself because
Yeah, literally, he was like,
"Be
"Hold my
happy."
family back. I don't care about you."
Yeah.
It's oh man, sticking it to the man, except for not really sticking it to the planet you live on, dude.
But
Yeah, I don't see that can do that. You can't.
I was actually so sure he was dead, but this scene is almost making me think that he's not gonna die.
No,
So
he's not. There's no way. After this, there's no way.
Can you,
If he doesn't die after this, I'd be shocked.
Unless the
Really?
series ends after this, that's the only like. If he dies, I feel like the series has to end.
yeah.
He would have just been dead. They wouldn't be doing this God stuff if he's not coming back. I feel like. Plus, another nice thing about this chapter is they're actually getting to see Kuriri in action, for the first time, essentially, since the
pretty
first
much.
chapter.
Also,
Yeah.
Kuriri working with Albert is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Yeah, it's like a dual action thing, like hand over hand.
Yeah.
Black
Really
hole magic, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
I think we've said this almost, or at least I know I've said this almost every single time. No matter whether this gets canceled or not, I really, really hope that he does something else, because his art, his drawings, paneling,
The art is incredible, dude.
his way of like his storytelling is super interesting. This has got to come back in some way. So I hope Earthchild keeps fighting for its spot by throwing us for all the loops through all of them. We're thinking next chapter, I swear to God, we're gonna think the fucking baby's gonna die. Like,
No, exactly, dude. Every chapter is like it's a wild ride,
Someone's
really.
going to die.
Yeah.
But speaking of like series that we're worried about dying, there's Doron, which is surprising to see above Earthchild, because I don't know about you guys, but this chapter was kind of mid for me.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
got to see the cool new Mononoke designs, but that's the issue. We always say this. Kusanagi's the draw of the series. Kusanagi's not in the chapter, basically.
Yeah.
So like
a couple panels.
Right, but we get to see some cool new Mononoke designs towards the end, but that's about it.
Yeah, that was. It seemed interesting. I feel like you get a little bit of a throw with your antagonist. I think the power scaling immediately kind of gave me the idea that this could go longer, but also the rankings tell me that this could be going in two chapters. So, like, I'm not sure. I'm surprised to see it hit like chapter 30. So I'm curious.
I think the way I saw it is that this is setting up an arc.
Yeah,
It's setting up a bunch of fights
Yeah.
that are very easily the final fights, because I think the guy, I think next serialization meeting, I think it would line up perfectly is just this arc ends, serialization meeting, he's given 5 weeks, sum it up, and then he's done.
Yeah, I can totally see it. I'm preparing for it to be gone. Sadly, so again, another series where I absolutely love the art. I love his like intensity. His line art's splendid. But
This chapter did have a really cool panel of the one captain with the multicolored hair. He slices a giant Mononoke in half.
yeah,
It was awesome.
Yeah. I don't know about it, man. Honestly, I'm ready to say bye to it. Obviously, I'm gonna miss Kusanagi, but literally all the other characters, I mean, I couldn't care too much about them.
Yeah.
And as this goes on, it just feels like it's kind of dragging its feet, especially in this chapter. Especially after seeing like how Ayashimon and like other series have ended. Like now that I've experienced that stuff too, it's just like, yeah, you're not going much longer.
No.
I don't know how I feel about you. Obviously, I know it means a lot to you, Aiden, but that's why I'm gonna be like kind of rubbing it in your face for the next like.
I don't mind. I'm prepared for this to go.
I'll be like, yes, Come down to manga hell with Ayashimon, dude.
Yeah.
Come on down. Drag you down.
Not my first canceled
Weakness.
series, and it won't be my last. Sadly,
Yeah, no.
this is the fun of Jump. Oh, seeing all the little series you watch grow and die. Like,
And then
Yeah,
you
it's
just
like watching a seed that you planted and watch grow for a little bit, and it just kind of gets burned to a crisp and dies, and before you even see it really prosper and grow. And that's the sad thing about Jump, but that's why we're here.
Yep.
Talk about all these
Remember.
little series that nobody else is talking about, give it a little highlight, and then watch it die and all of us shed a couple tears. That's how it goes.
Unless it's Protect Me Shogamaru. No one
Oh
cares.
yeah, no,
we
nobody
literally
cares.
celebrated that beginning.
Yeah, we kicked that shit to the curb immediately. Yeah, we'll jump into unless any other thoughts on Doron.
None.
We got a High School Family Kokosei. Really, really funny chapter this week. I love that they're cementing the romance. They kind of at one point kind of introduced a third wheel, a love triangle kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this chapter, and I was like, really? And this chapter is just making an absolute buffoon of our third wheeling romance character.
You mean like a four-way romance? Because according to his team, it's like his mom for some reason. Like, how come he still hasn't told them? It'd be so much simpler than dealing with that shit, man. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I totally forgot that everyone thinks he has a crush on his mom, which is insane.
It's funny.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've now read enough of High School Family Kokosei to get an idea. Like, I've read the first 28 chapters.
Yeah.
So just hearing that's really funny because where I'm at, the whole school knows the dynamic.
Not
yeah.
the whole school.
There's it's their classroom that knows the whole dynamic, but
Yeah.
people outside, so their teams and stuff. He joins he joins a team and because he doesn't want them to know about his family, and yeah.
Bro,
Makes
my
sense.
favorite chapter of that series so far, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but maybe Trent has read it. It's the one where the dad has already joined the volleyball team, and he meets the guy that was his junior in middle school.
Just read
Oh
that.
yeah,
Dude,
I read that one too. Yeah.
That shit is the best. It's the
was
best
really good.
fucking chapter.
It's so
It's
good.
like
boss
it's
in the
going between
coach
three
around.
people. It's just here, let me pick up the balls. No, I'll do it for you, senpai. No, you don't have to do that. I'm gonna do it for you. It's I was dying, dude. I was at work when I was reading that chapter, so I was just having not giggle. It was so hard. Okay, but High School Family Kokosei, good chapter.
Yeah, not too much to say. Obviously, just comedy, gag. It was funny. It was a really, really funny bit. I absolutely loved the humor and it was just well done. It was a good, very good one. Next up is Super Smartphone.
Smartphone. This is the first time I think we've seen it rank this low.
Well, it's now. I think it actually just started officially in the rankings.
Right.
So to see
I
it
thought
this
it was last
low.
week.
No, I think it's actually this one. It's his first.
Oh,
I
okay.
could be wrong. I could be wrong.
It was either last one of this week's.
Yeah.
I think
Either way.
it's this.
Either
I
way,
think
it's
last week
not
it was
very
still
high.
considered a new serialization.
Yeah.
So
15 though.
But yeah, a little low. Way lower than I'd hope.
a little concerning.
Very
Very,
concerning.
yeah. If it
Yeah.
stays there for another month, then
Yeah, I'm hoping this is the last time we see it this low because it's actually something I
Look forward to.
Yeah, he looks forward
Yeah.
to. And
he
we'll
looks
keep
forward to it, and we keep it going. Aiden,
Yeah.
what do you think of the chapter?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. This is a series where it is really wordy, but I am very interested in every word. I want to understand. I want to know what's happening. I do really, really care. I love Q. I love that he struggles and he has this whole this chapter. He had a moral dilemma. He totally could have just ruined someone's life, but he chose not to. So it's I really, really, really fucking like this character, and so.
He acts like a fucking human being instead of someone
Yeah.
that's cold and calculating and stuff.
Light.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's it's very similar. I feel like it's like watching Death Note, but you're rooting for a character that you actually really, really like. Like you're like, this isn't like a morally gray thing. This is a like I'm on the right side of the tracks here.
It's Death Note with an actual protagonist.
Really
I mean, Death Note kind of has L, but at the same time.
But you're watching the show through the like I guess the protagonist is the antagonist, so it's
I mean, Light is still at the end of the day the protagonist, and I mean L is supposed to be the antagonist because you're supposed to be rooting for Light as like the main character or whatever. But when it comes to like L, he's not the nicest person.
Oh no,
like at all. He'll tell you to go fuck yourself. But he'll still like you, basically. But this guy, like has been saying, he's just straight up just like a nice person that's not looking to ruin anyone's life, just wants to help out, and he wants to, and at the end of the day, just like find his brother, right? Yeah. So that's an admirable quality. And I don't know, the villain, that shot at the end. I swear to God, this gets an anime.
Dude, that water was a little bit more shallow. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it is that shallow. It just happens you can't see the crotch area because you can see the outline of his entire body of water.
This man is like not even trying to hide it. He's just got it all out, dude.
He's right up there. He's just like, all right.
He's just really pushing for the rich guy character. But also, I just love the progression in this chapter. I felt like we took a lot of big steps with Q as his character, and also with the police force and the story, and it was just like, I was like, nice, this is like really great progression. I felt very rewarded for reading all those words.
Right. I like reading the words. I like it a lot more. I like the dialogue a lot more than I do Witch Watch, but I still don't feel very rewarded when I have to read through all of that. And I basically just like, okay, so he did this in the end. He didn't have to go through all of this. He could have just said, I'm going to do this. But he's obviously like narrating in his head or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
I'm serious when there's like a panel with like a triangle and like some circles and words and numbers and shit. And I'm just like, you guys know that meme, right? With like the blonde woman that's like looking around doing a bunch of like
math shit. That's me. Literally that meme, yeah. Reading that panel.
That's funny.
It's me.
This
guy's gonna get me confused. I would not survive in this universe. I'm just saying. All right, but yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. Anyone else?
No, nothing specific on the chapter. I just think for 9 chapters in, really strong characters. I mean, every main character is like memorable, recognizable. Like it's
really awesome villain setup, really awesome protagonist.
Yeah,
the police force girls are like really cool.
Yeah,
I did the moment when they're like setting up the group for this mission, and they pick the bald guy, and then he's immediately like, "All right, I cede it to Suamizu." Just immediately.
Great.
Key, you wanna bring us in with Roboco?
It's time.
Yeah, bring us back.
Roboco.
No, I'm kidding.
What?
Trent just leaves.
All right. But no, this was a good chapter. And I'll tell you why. It's because there's a straight up Sakamoto gag in it.
I was about to say, so I'm not very far in Sakamoto, but I just read that arc, the amusement park stuff, and I'm looking at the title, the amusement park in Roboco. I'm just like, oh, there has to be.
There's a straight up Sakamoto reference. They say, it's like, oh, this is just like Sakamoto.
They say that?
No, Roboco straight up says, oh my god, this is just like Sakamoto or something.
That's awesome.
Like that.
That's awesome to see it like referencing other manga in the magazine.
Oh yeah, no, dude,
manga,
all the time. All the time. Especially Ayakashi Triangle. There's a real thing for that for some reason.
That's funny.
I don't know. The mom's always like very adamant about him not reading Ayakashi Triangle for some reason.
You know the reason, yeah?
Yeah, I know the reason, but just like, whatever.
We
but
were like
overall solid chapter.
We were like a month off from being forced to read Ayakashi Triangle.
Yeah,
which is
great.
Really? Yeah. Like it was like only a couple weeks before that Ayakashi Triangle moved to Jump Plus.
And it was in May, yeah.
Which like
I would have loved to have started reading that week to week. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah, I don't mind. But it's made by the guy who makes To Love Ru, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, dude.
Which is
hype.
Yeah.
It's the best. Shit. No, here's the panel that this is. I don't think this is the panel that references Sakamoto, but that panel just looks fucking sick. Catches a bullet in her mouth.
Oh my god.
Fucking beautiful. I love Roboco. Best comedy manga. First to sell $1 billion. Anyways, other than that, not a whole lot else to say. Roboco's just still doing its comedy routine, being the top dog, getting its anime, doing good stuff, making waves. And I don't have anything else to say about it. So, anyone else want to talk about their experiences with Roboco, or is everyone still just like, no, I haven't read it?
Yeah, I'm just working on.
Well, I read the first chapter. Yeah, I haven't.
I'm working on Hunter.
Fair. All right, then let's talk about Yozakura, Trent.
Yeah,
Trent?
awesome chapter.
Yeah.
Also, I think we're done setting up the next arc. I think next chapter is going to be the start, like the for sure start of the next arc, where we're going to see more preparation and attacking on Momo from the Yozakura family. Really awesome chapter for Kyochiro.
Yeah.
Is the older brother's name.
Yeah.
Kind of see his dynamic with the principal, or not the principal, the president of the
there you go.
Spy Association. It's really cool to Kyochiro kind of feels untouchable whenever you read Yozakura Family, so it's kind of cool to see the president kind of be able to stand on his level.
And actually, the way this chapter played out, it seemed like above his level.
Yeah, even like better. Yeah. Was able to calm him down, which is something Asano says that no one can do. So, yeah, it's really cool chapter for the president and Kyochiro.
Absolutely.
And Kyochiro also had this big moment where he said that he's gonna finish Momo in 3 days rather than what everyone else thought was like 3 months.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a really good chapter. Most of the stuff that you said also, I agree with. Honestly, the thing I'm obsessing most over this this manga is the fact that the dad runs a YouTube channel.
Oh, I meant to, yeah. This is funny, awesome gag at the end of the chapter. It's amazing.
Dude, he's making a YouTube apology video. That is comedy gold. This guy knows what he's doing.
It was a good bit. I actually really, my biggest takeaway, I thought the new characters that they kind of like subtly introduced were cool as well. I was about it.
Yeah. I'm still obsessed with the Roboco. I'm sorry.
The YouTube apology joke also brings to mind that since starting this podcast, I've seen the YouTube apology joke twice.
Oh, and
with Witch Watch.
Yeah.
And then I've also seen a joke around playing Old Maid, the card game, 3 times.
Yeah.
Getting caught up on Weekly Shonen Jump. I read the same joke 3 times, which I think is fucking hilarious. It's like, I guess they didn't get much more content. They really like that joke over in Japan.
I guess so. Maybe I should include that in like the quiz show thing. Just like, hey, what scene was this from where they played the whole thing?
It's all the same scene from like 4 different series.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah. That'd be fun. Overall, though, good job. Good job, Yozakura.
Yeah.
Still being
middle of the
one of
road,
the best
but
series. Yeah.
Hopefully you'll rank better and get an anime.
Someday. We can hope.
Yeah.
Overdue.
It is overdue. It's honestly ridiculous, but
right? I mean, we're 100-something chapters in. Maybe once it wraps up, because I feel like we are getting into the final arc now.
Yeah.
But, who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe it'll just be one of those things that stays among, and that's it.
I can't see them going much further than fighting their own father, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about everyone's favorite romance manga, besides Aiden, because he's Kaguya, love, sick, shit. I don't know.
Yes. But my absolute favorite in this magazine, right now, kind of maybe second favorite. Great fucking chapter. Holy smokes, I love this one.
Blue Box. Yes.
Like, it's really put into perspective that I felt like Blue Box for the majority of its time is spent it focusing and growing our love interest and not our main character. and it feels like we're getting like every time I'm seeing Taiki on screen right now, and I'm like, you're having really good moments, Taiki. Like moments that you probably should have had a long time ago. Like it's much needed. So this has been great for him.
Yeah,
For sure.
Good to see.
Also,
Go for it.
just didn't. I was wrong last week. We didn't get to see Hina. She didn't walk in.
No,
which I'm
but
kind
we
of
got
glad because they had done that a
worse.
bunch of times. But we got something worse, which is Taiki bringing up Hina and
Yeah.
bringing up the freaking out when Chinatsu mentions kissing.
I was reading that shit on the plane. I'm sitting here, and it's like she's like, how about the kiss? And he goes, we did it. And I'm like, no, you idiot.
All
And it's
right,
like,
but
ooh.
can we talk about that dream sequence though? Like, I
Holy
don't know if
yeah,
that's what you're talking
the
about, but like,
craziest
bro,
dream sequence.
straight up, he was gonna kiss Hina, so he's like, no, we can't, or some shit like that. And then he was like, no, I won't let you. I'm just like, yeah, Hina.
Dream Hina the goat.
Dream Hina is a goat, dude. Holy
Also,
shit.
it's funny in the dream sequence. Chinatsu's holding like a
Giant thing of Pocari.
bottle.
This giant bottle of Pocari Sweat, which is crazy.
I kind of want to try Pocari now.
I literally could have bought some yesterday. I was like, I thought about it. I was like, dude, literally, because they literally just spent like 2 chapters talking about how it tastes, and I'm like, damn, I want some.
And you didn't buy it?
I didn't buy it.
Loser.
I just remembered I left.
Remember what you said, bro. Like, it tastes sweet unless you're sweating. Then it doesn't taste like anything at all.
It's crazy. Also, the moment with I think his name's Yusa. Yes, Yusa.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, what is the kanji for your name? I want to remember it. I thought
Yeah.
that was really cool because like they're gonna have an excellent fight. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's real. Like they're doing a really really damn good job of setting up this like antagonist, like rival, like
Yeah.
because. And that makes it really interesting because Yusa is above his
Senpai.
his
Used to be
senpai
his
Haru.
senpai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now that Mata's beating him, it like really puts like an interesting spin on like I guess like his relationship triangle, like with all the people in his life. So I am very very curious to see how this goes.
No, as soon as I finished this chapter, I immediately thought I want to see Taiki play against his senpai again. And see how that goes.
Yeah. No, this will be. I feel like it's getting into a really interesting space. Also, I just have to call out the North Fos face shirt.
Yeah.
The North Fos shirt. I was like, did they really put a North Face shirt in here? And it says the North Fos. I was like,
Yeah.
nice.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm not much to say really outside of that. I'm just really happy to see so much more of a focus on Taiki as a character.
Right.
And like treating him really well for this manga, so it's exciting.
Yeah. It's also exciting if we are all done with Blue Box, seeing PPP. Last week it was kind of low, so it's kind of nice seeing it back where it usually is.
Like
in the middle of
towards
the
the middle.
Great
magazine.
to see.
Right.
Middle.
Yeah.
Who all is
It's
caught
still
up on
been
PPP?
doing what it's been doing the past couple chapters, which is setting up this next arc or this
Yeah.
next musical tournament, but it's getting really close. We finally got to see both teams all together.
Mm-hmm.
Finally.
Yeah, it's like they're sitting down for like a meeting or something right now,
Yeah.
just like discuss how it's all gonna go. And by the way, this is just something really, really random. I don't know if you guys know. I feel like I said it already on the podcast, but I took piano lessons for 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And straight up, one of the songs, one of the rivals mentioned that they're going to be playing. I forget which character it was. It was the guy with the mask.
Ren? Yeah, Ren.
Yeah. He said that he's going to be playing this One Piece. And I was thinking, One Piece.
Not in the
Sorry,
magazine this week.
Yeah, I know.
I wish.
You're not allowed to talk about it, Key.
Yeah, not in the
I'm
magazine
sorry,
this week.
I'm
Good
sorry,
shit.
dude. But, like, genuinely, you mentioned playing this one piece of music. It was the Pomp and Circumstance. That's right.
Yeah.
That one in particular was like one of the last songs I ever learned from my piano teacher. I thought that was just so fucking cool. Like, wait, I know that one.
That's sick.
I don't think I could play it right now if I had a piano in front of me, but I remembered learning it, so thought that counts.
It's That is something that I thought of when I'm reading that. Is like I kind of wish I knew anything about piano or music for that matter, because
that's one of the things that's
they're
holding
just listing off
nonsense,
songs.
right?
Yeah.
Like I remember going to piano recitals all the time with like my parents forced me to, and they also made me try out with like professional piano instructors to see how well I would place in the state. I was always like bottom of the barrel, but I tried.
Key was out here really being PPP.
Yeah, dude, I was really PPPing.
Which hallucinations did you use when you played?
Dude, I was making hallucinations of Shrek coming out of the porta potty.
Way.
That's how I played. But no, genuinely, PPP's doing good. I kind of felt like I wasn't gonna like it as much, but now that I'm kind of seeing more like the piano aspects of it, like where they're actually referencing like certain songs and stuff, and talking about it, I just feel the need to like turn on music on YouTube and just like play the songs that they're playing while they're playing the songs.
Right.
Ooh,
it makes the experience like so much better.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that's something people do for JoJo's with the stand names and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, PPP is doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Something
that
was really
every week, man.
I gotta say it, dude. It's a good joke. Okay.
I want to hear Aiden's thoughts on this because I know he's a huge fan of Lucky, but how do you kind of feel about the emphasis on this chapters on his like evolution?
Change. I immediately noticed he starts acting way more like his siblings, and I almost don't like it because I thought his biggest thing was that he was able to butt heads with his siblings while being so much of his own person, but his aura and his feel just feels so much more like one of his siblings, but also at the same time still kind of feels like him, so it's weird. I mean, we've only gotten like 2 chapters where he's kind of like really changed his personality, so I guess we'll see more of it as it goes, but definitely not the biggest fan right now at the very moment.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
It is kind of cool to see him kind of like reflect on himself where he feels like he was being childish this whole time.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I like it.
Yeah.
I think my favorite line from that part that you guys are talking about is where he said he basically it was his brother who said it feels like you've been reborn since your birthday or something like that. It was like, that's such a fucking deep line. What the fuck? Yeah. So we're just talking about how they all have the same birthday. Wild.
But yeah, any other thoughts on PPP, or are we gonna?
Bo, are you still trying to catch up on it?
I'm not caught up, no.
No? Oh, okay.
I'm looking at, I need to. It's always like this block of Mission Family or Yozakura Family, Blue Box, PPP, and like Undead normally in there. I need to catch up on one of those. So there's always this like 4-section block where I'm just like.
If I were to recommend any, just off of my favorite.
PPP short, I mean.
PPP is really short, and Blue Box is really, really good and interesting. Like I like it.
And relatively short.
You won't get bored of anything like Blue Box. With Undead Unluck, I can see why, because there are parts that's like really fucking slow, and even I have a hard time reading it. But
it's Battle Shonen, so it's like,
hey,
Battle Shonen is not at all.
At this point, I'm like, do I even have to catch up on it?
Bro, Battle Shonen can be anything you want it to be at this point. I'm convinced because of JJK.
I mean, I'll put it here now. Might as well say it out loud. But there's a part of me that hopes by the time I get caught up with Hunter x Hunter and My Hero and Black Clover, that Undead Unluck is no longer in the magazine.
I'll tell you right now, it's heading that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give it like, I don't know, 15, 20 more chapters and it'll be gone.
See, like, I do want to read Undead Unluck, but like, I think I might, if it gets canceled within like the next 6 months, I'll probably just read or like buy the volumes, and read it that way or something. Because I did enjoy what I read, but if it's ending soon anyway, I might as well catch up on the other stuff.
Right. No, I feel you. Don't get me wrong. And I'll be here to cover the very end of Undead Luck. Don't worry, all you Undead Luck fans. All 10 of you, I'm going to be here for you. But on that note, I mean, we're not even supposed to be talking about Undead Unluck right now. But Ruri Dragon is supposed to be next.
Awesome.
Trent,
I don't know why we're chopping all the way there.
Yeah.
So
you said that was your favorite Trent. You want to dive into Ruri Dragon?
I would say it's my most favorite because I think last week I said something about I hope we kind of get to see Ruri's how to put this. I guess her relationships with other people, like her classmates or someone that can kind of match her energy or like match the bizarreness of her dragon affliction. So it's kind of cool seeing this character that is super obnoxious and like in her face, and then also kind of butts heads with her.
Yeah.
With her mopey kind of personality.
Sure.
So I feel like we're going to get a lot more of that in the coming chapters, or we're just going to get more of her talking to her friends, which is kind of what I hope to see in it. It's a super chill. I don't think it's like, I don't see it hitting the highs of like My Hero where you have these really big impactful moments, but it's something that you read every week and it's really cute and nice, and
it's so refreshing.
It's really
I always read this like right in the middle, so it's like a nice little like.
It's just like it's super easy and nice to read. Like I really have no problem reading it.
I don't know about you guys, but the art is just absolutely amazing. I love the art. The art is so it's so clean.
It's so clean and like just super enjoyable to look at. Like I love all the characters. I love like how stylized they are, but all like they seem very generic anime, but at the same time so stylized and unique.
Feel distinct.
Yeah. So I
it's
absolutely love it.
It's definitely standoutish, right?
Yeah.
The number one selling point, according to Gintoki, is to make your protagonist kind of more standoutish, and you can recognize it by their silhouette. And I think Ruri fits that. I'm glad you're happy that I made that reference. I can tell.
Absolutely.
So I like that about Ruri. I don't have anything else to really say about that. I really don't. I just not really into the really cutesy stuff that doesn't have anything else beyond that, because it lacks a certain substance to it, right? I need a good story, not just the typical slice of life shit, you know?
Yeah, I'm excited for it to get out of the. Yeah, I'm excited for it to get out of like the episodic kind of.
Yeah, and it's school-centered.
And it will.
Dude, like,
I think
I need a different setting.
It'll be a very interesting like story of growth. Seems very humane.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what it'll do. Like she obviously struggles to like, especially now, struggles to make friends, and you see that development here, and push herself out of her bubble, which is really interesting. Just very sweet. Like it's just so like that final panel like warmed my heart so damn much. I was like, that's adorable.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that so much.
A nice little selfie, you know. It's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's really really cute. I just want more from it. Like some more stuff to happen. Besides just the day-to-day shit, you know, like I want to see what comes up with like her powers and stuff, and how she grows, because this is ultimately becoming like one of those weird metaphors for like maturing and growing up and whatever. And like puberty, even in a weird way. So maybe it'll be like turning red, or maybe it'll be something better. We'll see.
Yeah. No, or Key. I feel like Key's just really hoping for the fight scene where like her dad like blasts through the school and she's like fighting out her dad.
Like it just becomes like apocalyptic.
Don't get me wrong, that'd be hype, but no, I don't want this to be a battle manga, because I'm getting kind of a little bit tired of some of the newer battle mangas. We'll get more to that later, but like Aliens area, I have a lot to say about it.
Oh, for sure. Let's I'm excited to talk about Aliens area, but do you want to talk more about Undead Unluck, or are you?
Yeah, dude, I took back my answer because I remembered this chapter. It was phenomenal, genuinely.
That's good.
Because again, we got Fuko back, huzzah, best character, best girl. Ultimately, like it wrapped up the fight in a nice way. We got some closure on the person that they've been fighting for the past like 5 or so chapters since we've been doing this podcast. And it was just nice to like see him kind of like finally have closure and sort out all of his like feelings and shit. Fuko just barely got back to her body because she was like a ghost in the last chapter or something like that. And now her and Andy are reunited, and they're gonna go figure out what's going on with something I'm not gonna spoil because you guys are again not caught up. If we get to a point ever where you guys really think you're just not gonna read it, then I'll talk spoilers just so the viewers know I'm actually reading it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, would you want us to mute and then you can just talk about your thoughts?
I'd like to, but also like I don't know, maybe.
We'll see.
Next time there's like a super important chapter, we can do that.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. Just because like you you're preaching to. You want to have that conversation out there, I guess, especially if it's wrapping soon, right? So.
Right. Like, I want to be able to, like, talk about it openly with, like, people that watch it for Undead Unluck. So far in the comments, haven't seen any of you guys, but that's fine because it is kind of on the down low.
Yeah. And let us know if you want to hear about Undead Unlock and want us to talk about it. Definitely let us know. We will make that happen without any problems.
Right. Like, as soon as you guys start talking about Yozakura Family, I feel like Aiden jumped right on it because, like, oh, yeah, we have to talk about this, right?
Yeah.
So if there's something in particular you want us to talk more about, then please, like, let us know. Force these guys to read Undead Unluck. Why not? But yeah, Undead Unluck, good chapter. We'll figure out more on how we're going to talk about it going forward at another time. But for now, let's talk about Aliens Area.
Absolutely.
Anybody have any thoughts about Aliens Area before I fucking rip it to shreds?
All right. Go in.
Whoa. Rip it to shreds.
Go for it. Just talk about it.
I will say, it's been very middling so far. The first chapter was really good. 2 and 3 were okay. And then, 2 was the one. That's the one where they introduced the new characters, right? That one was whatever.
Yeah.
Or was that 3? I don't remember.
3 was the one with the new characters, yeah.
Yeah, and then this chapter is fine. I am a little disappointed, and I get why, because it's more marketable. There's an alien that just looks like a human.
I immediately
I don't like that. I don't like that.
My immediate first thought is Gintama, where you have your important aliens be fucking humanoid, and I'm like,
I hate because I know they're gonna do that for every single alien that's born. You know they are.
Yeah, he has like
otherwise.
So let's do something positive because, like I said, I am actually going to rip this to shreds.
I mean, like, no, I enjoy
the art's
like,
good.
I enjoy the art. I like the fight scenes. They're really well. Like sometimes in manga, I have a hard time following fight scenes. This one, I did not. I was like, this is very easy to follow. I know exactly where it's going. It's well drawn. Also, the moment I really enjoyed. Was him like the assassin coming up in the background. He's hitting the watch. It's just super cool.
Oh yeah, he knows. Yeah. Do you guys think before Key goes in? Do you guys think the little princess alien's gonna be like the quirky little side character? That's the vibe I'm getting.
I could see it. I can totally see it. Just with her
she gotta be sticking around,
biting his head.
I hope not, but I could see it.
I could see it. Yeah.
Because he's even talking about like, oh, she weighs just as much as I think the little sister or whatever. So like, he's gonna like keep her. Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Key. The stand is yours.
You fucked up, dude. Straight up. We got that really fucking cool alien in the last chapter that like came out of someone's body or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, here we go. This is gonna be like some Parasite, Aliens, the movie, type shit. No, he's just a little lovable goofball. It gets like touched on by the princess alien or whatever. He's harmless now, basically.
Yeah.
Right? It ruined it for me. I'm sorry. I thought we were going for a little more frightening, but no, we got cutesy, and that is ultimately what killed it for me this chapter. And then we got an assassin. I don't know. There's periods in Jump where there's something that's like there's an abundance of. Look back in like the early 2000s, it was like samurai and ninjas or whatever. These days, it's spies and assassins. As soon as I heard, there's the galaxy's biggest, baddest assassin is after her. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
There's something else with that is like I don't understand the power scaling if they're fighting the world's top assassin in the.
I was gonna say that. Yeah. I was gonna say that.
Really
seems like they're really fucking up the stakes a little bit.
Yeah.
They already know it's on the chopping block.
Wrap it up.
Don't get me wrong. Look, the art is some of my favorite in the whole thing, and that's what kind of got me when I read the one shot before this series came out from his last thing. It was like Apollo 13 or whatever. Really, really cool concept. I actually would have preferred that series get a manga instead of this, but. That being said, this still doesn't really hit for me. The first chapter, whatever, it was pretty good. But ever since then, it's just been kind of downhill. I don't know if you guys feel the same, because I think Bo said you kind of liked the last chapter a little bit. Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, I think, more than most of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's like amazing or anything, but I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Right.
I have no problem. I have no qualms with reading in the chapters. I enjoy the dialogue. I like our characters. And it's definitely interesting. It's 5 chapters. It's hard to tell where it's gonna go, what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
my main thing with it is Ruri Dragon, Super Smartphone, Akane Banashi, and even like Earthchild, even though that's not performing well. They all have these like really big moments at the start where you can really latch onto it.
Yeah.
And you kind of get an idea of if you like it or not. And I feel like Aliens Area. I mean, I don't think I liked the first chapter of Aliens Area nearly as much as you guys did, but I still have yet to have that moment where I'm like, this is going to be this, and this is how I feel about it. I'm kind of just waiting for it to do more, and I feel like, and at the same time, it doesn't give me the feeling that it will do more. So yeah. I'm kind of worried about it in that sense.
Right. No, I get that. I'm in the same boat as you, honestly.
Yeah.
They need to get out of the setting that they're in into someplace better and actually do something that can be like worth of note.
I really hope they actually just go to space. I really hope they do.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. That'd be fucking high.
That would help it so much, I think, because like they're talking about, this guy, he's the #1 assassin in the galaxy. Show us the galaxy.
Maybe they'll do like an Obi-Wan and it's Return the Princess. That's the mission.
No, please don't do that.
Little chase scene in there.
I'm actually kind of more fascinated because they keep talking about how this is the aliens area. That's the whole title of the manga, right? They need to establish what the aliens area actually is, I think, a little bit more.
Area 51 in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Area 51, sure, whatever. But, like, there's, like, a designated area where aliens are, like, allowed to exist is basically what I gather from it. But they have to, like, follow certain laws and procedures and shit, too. Yeah. And that's why they're there. That force is there to, like, take out aliens and basically deport them if they're doing stupid shit. But I want to see more of that. I want to see them, like, do different stuff with it.
Yeah, I almost want to see more of, like, the political aspect.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, political, too. Yeah, sure.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, I'm glad that we can all kind of agree because I was feeling kind of bad about kind of tearing it a new one there. Cause
no, I think what you said was very fair.
Yeah.
It's kind of just not doing. It's doing a lot of things, but at the same time, nothing.
We didn't need to get a big fight with the strongest in the galaxy on the 4th chapter, guys. Come on.
The thing that I feel is weird is it's chapter 5, and I feel like we have yet to have a whole fight.
That's
like chapter 1 kind of had like kind of a fight, and then chapter 2 had kind of a fight, and same thing with chapter 3.
Actually, chapter 2 had that full fight, but that wasn't even with the main character.
But that's the thing. Well, I don't even really count that because it was like almost done in one
chapter.
Like it was.
I get what you're saying, Trent. Yeah.
So it's like we haven't had anything where it feels like someone has a fight with a lot of stakes.
This
I mean, we're kind of getting that with this assassin, but
we'll
at the same time, he kind of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be like, assassins are dumb anyways, and they'll beat his ass in one chapter.
Hopefully.
It's like the first 2 pages he's gone.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd laugh. Okay, I'd laugh at that. If they do that, then cool. I just want this to drag on for the next 5 chapters. Be like, okay, you still find the assassin.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's go. But let's talk about Witch Watch because let's move on from this. Oh my god.
This is my favorite chapter. Trent obviously knows. I love my reference humor. I like when they make jokes about things I like. It's funny. But man, I was like, okay, like it'll probably be just a chapter of them playing games. My favorite takeaway was just like how they acted in this chapter. Like it was obviously so relatable. They're playing Smash Bros. They're getting pissy. Like their reactions to things were just like so like entirely completely relatable. Like you have Moy, which is so funny because he's the most like straight stone-faced character, and he's throwing a fucking tantrum over Smash Bros. Like it's the best thing ever. Like it's the funniest thing to see him break character over.
Yeah, for real. And just the main girl, what's her name again?
Nico.
Yeah. She's playing Animal Crossing in the beginning. Can we talk about that? Like that's such a girl thing to do. I'm sorry. I know we all like Animal Crossing at least a little bit. I do too.
Yeah.
But like that's just such a girl thing to do. Yeah. And I feel like I've seen someone play Animal Crossing like twice in manga.
Oh,
the other time was
Yozakura
Family.
I actually keep seeing Animal Crossing pop up. Fucking the whole thing where she's playing Animal Crossing and they're all just waiting to use the Switch, which is also hilarious.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, like they also literally just they didn't have any holds bars. It's 110% a Switch, Joy-Con grip and all. And the moment where he puts it down, gets up, and her heart starts beating, and then he starts whining like a little kid to be better at games, which is awesome.
Like get good. Do you have a spell that's called Get Good, Scrub?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and like just like they had a lot of like there was a bunch of bits that I found hilarious. Like he kept picking the ugly ass characters. Them looking like demons while playing the game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the last character that he picked, like the one that's like he's got like lanky legs. He looks like he's got Hitmonlee legs or something. Is that like a reference to Street Fighter? I almost feel like it is.
I don't know. The only character I can think of, because I was thinking the same thing, is Dhalsim, maybe, but at the same time, Dhalsim is much more like monk.
Yeah.
And less like, I don't know. It's really weird. But you talking about the picking the weird character thing, I think it's funny because I feel like Smash Bros doesn't really have that. Like, there's not a lot of just like weird characters in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
They're like usually they're usually video game icons, which tend not to be weird characters.
They had a Donkey Kong reference thrown in there. That was cool.
But that's something bigger in like other fighting games. Like Street Fighter has a bunch of wacky ass characters, and so does like Mortal Kombat and everything else. So seeing that kind of concept in Witch Watch almost made me feel like he played other fighting games more, and then chose Smash Bros because it's more popular
with the kids. And it's on the Switch too, and that's kind of what they were going for. But yeah, Witch Watch, you got me this week. Good job. Thumbs up.
I've been saying this like for the past 4 weeks. Like when we started the podcast, I was ready to dog on Witch Watch because the first 50 chapters are stuff that I really didn't enjoy. But ever since we started the podcast, I guess the manga was like, damn, they're making a podcast about me. I got to step up my game.
I know he's like really, really been holding it together lately. Like I feel like he's really found his footing for like how to use his cast, how to use his sense of humor, what hits and what doesn't, which is really exciting to see. I absolutely love it.
I still don't get why we have the vampire kid there. He doesn't feel like he serves any purpose, but you know.
Yeah, I think the vampire was the end of the. That's true.
But let's hand things over to Trent and Bo because Dr. Stone had a little special one shot today.
And Bo get 2 times to be together this episode.
I know.
Well, Trent Power Hour.
Yeah.
Part 1.
Do we need to talk about spoilers, Trent? I think we kind of do. We do
because it's like post the whole month.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I assume you guys it's very blatant spoilers that you'll like remember. Yeah. So like
I'm anime only when it comes to Dr. Stone, so I definitely just don't want to be spoiled for it.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah. Going on.
First of all, dude, it is so nice seeing these characters again. Oh my god.
Oh, it's awesome.
Like because I caught up on it last summer and then read it weekly until it ended, and it was easily my favorite in the magazine until it ended.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it was something I was constantly looking forward to every week.
Yeah, I was like super into it. This one shot kind of did exactly what I hoped it would. There's gonna be more. It's not over.
Yeah, oh for sure.
It's straight up not over.
It kind
like this entire one shot was just them getting more material. Exactly. I get it because like I don't know if they're doing like what Bleach is probably gonna end up doing with like just these one shots every few months. Where they continue the plot that way. That's the idea I'm getting. But even if it went monthly, man, clearly the story wasn't over.
Yeah.
I guess they wrapped up the Y-Man thing, so that's why they wanted to do it. But yeah, this was really good.
Yeah, it's super awesome seeing progress on the roadmap that we saw on the final chapter of the actual series, and then them making the statement of we're going to surpass the 21st century. They've never done something before where like they're literally doing something that actually hasn't even been done in our real world before. So it's super
and
awesome.
That's so exciting because throughout the entire, I mean, there's like 25 volumes of the series, like 230 chapters or something like that. Mm-hmm. Even just that, having inventions that we already know about in the real world was super exciting. I would love to see what Inagaki can think of with new stuff that we like. What are his crazy ideas for like future tech? Like that's such an interesting concept that I would love to see that serialized.
And seeing the city on a different planet would be just bonkers.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean that's what they're talking about here, making a city on another planet. But then there's also like the time machine stuff that's obviously happening in the background. So they're setting up like a lot. So yeah, I'm just so excited to see more. Could you get a vibe for how long of a time span this chapter lasted? Because we see Dr. Zeno and he's talking about like with like the government and stuff that's been established at this point. They're like, no, you need to give up the search, which makes me think it's been like a long time. Like this chapter was probably like like a year. I don't even know.
I don't know. I think the chapter is a year, but I don't think they gave it. I think they were more so giving the search up early because they didn't have the technology yet to just be able to find a random plane in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they have black boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's more of why it was like that. But I mean, obviously they built a raft and they had to get all the nitric acid and find everyone and make they made a whole boat. At the end of it.
Yeah, it had to be like a year or so.
Yeah.
That was one thing that got kind of sloppy in my opinion at the end of Dr. Stone. The time skipping just got like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was one chapter and they were testing the rocket and like 10 years passed in that one chapter. Just caught like one panel was like, all right, attempt number 7. And like they said, each attempt was like 5 years or something. I'm like, what's happening here?
Well, it almost feels like Senku and them should look really old now.
Yeah, that's another thing because I remember like I was in like the Dr. Stone Reddit when it was like wrapping up and I was like, are they gonna explain this? Because they should certainly be looking older. I don't know if it's something to do with the revival fluid and all that. That's my assumption.
That makes sense for Sui, like the whole time that Suika's in, like, because she aged like 7 years while the rest of them didn't. So she went from being like an 11-year-old to like an 18-year-old, I think. Or like a 17-year-old or something like that.
Like 16, something like that. Yeah. Teenager.
So I know they kind of explained it there because that was a 7-year time skip where only the Suika was the only person on the whole planet, not Stone. But yeah, we haven't really gotten that for like, because they have sort of realistic times for building rockets and stuff. So time definitely passes, and we don't really see that.
Maybe it's just a hard style choice. They don't want to. They want to do it.
I think their respect that also. Are iconic, and they don't really want to change them that much.
Yeah, Suika's the only one that's really changed throughout the entire.
Yeah, because they made a huge point about it too.
yeah, that was like the entire thing. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, really good chapter. So happy to see these characters again. Happy that we are very clearly getting more. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Sure. I mean, the series ended like 4 months ago, so this is pretty quick, honestly. They could have made us wait years for this. So maybe by the time like season 3 of the anime starts, we get more. I don't know, but I'm excited to see more. Do you have anything else to say though?
Awesome chapter. On to Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, get him back in here. Dr. Stone bussin'.
Yeah. Dr. Stone.
Now, before you guys talk about Sakamoto Days, because I have to mute because I'm currently reading it. I'm on like chapter 25. I just finished like the little assassin killer dude that's like an idiot. Dude, this series is so fucking good. It is absolutely incredible. Yep. That's all I gotta say. Do your thing, talk about it, and let me know.
Absolutely. Yeah, Sakamoto Days was fucking excellent this week. Always. Yeah. It's always excellent. It's been oh man, it's a lot to talk about.
There's so much to talk about because it talks about the order, it talks about Sakamoto's whole thing, it talks about Slur, like it kind of what the whole thing with the school is. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we did mention it last week. Yeah, they are like they do believe in Slur and his politics, and I mean like, and they really dived headfirst into the politics of Sakamoto Day. They talked a lot about like, oh, why Slur is good, but like, and like it's almost like points that are hard to argue, but also at the same point, not at all. Like they're still what they're doing.
Like the points they bring up, it made it really believable that someone would see this and be like, oh, that's a good cause. But at the same time, you're like, well, yeah, it's a good cause, but he's killing a bunch of people, and that's not really the way you go about that.
The morals are not there. And then I think, if I remember correctly, it's the invisible guy who shows up near the end, right?
I didn't think it was.
No,
I might be wrong.
Or in the middle, and he's like telling him not to hang out with the teacher or whatever. I can't remember.
I just might be misremembering.
No, I don't think that would make sense because he was with Shin, so never mind.
Yeah, that's the reason why I thought it wasn't.
And then
yeah, this is a different guy I'm looking at now.
And then you've got Nagumo and the other guy from the Order in the car.
One actually had one of my favorite bits in the whole series where they
And
leave the girl. They
Yeah.
leave the girl at the store.
Which is fucking hilarious. Like, that is so funny. And she's just standing there in the middle of the highway.
Yeah,
Like,
just like holding a bunch of snacks. Like, what the hell?
they left without me.
I don't know why, but just that moment. This is gonna sound completely random. Probably won't make any sense at all. But that felt like a Chainsaw Man moment, or like a Fujimoto moment for some reason.
I kind of feel what you're getting for, like with the kind of like the dynamic between Aki, Power, and Denji, where just they're stupid.
They're just not goofs.
Totally.
Yeah, they're just goofing around.
I think it was a pretty solid chapter. I thought it was kind of funny how like the guys that are hanging around in like the area with all the X's, like that part of the school, and how they like slur. How they're also kind of a bunch of dorks that don't like talking to any of the girls at the school because like, oh yeah, like those girls in the poison lab, they're fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
He's like,
Big.
Yeah, I really love the dialogue this chapter. It was funny as hell. They're talking about like the food, and Sakamoto's just like literally go touch grass, like
Go touch grass.
Yeah.
Also found it kind of crazy. I mentioned it like before we started this podcast today, but holy shit, that one scene like in the final like couple pages felt like a Deadpool scene, like ripped out of straight from like the first movie. I can't explain it. If you're a Deadpool fan, you watch the movie, then you'll know. And Deadpool is a manga too, so I mean maybe that's a
Nagumo is just fucking
movies.
cracked. Like every time I see him, he just does the most insane shit. Like because you have to think that like so he hops up on the top of the roof of the car, he's getting shot at. He shoots the guy who's shooting out the fucking window, and then he jumps through the window, and then starts killing everyone through there. And it almost looks like one fell swoop that he kills everyone.
Mm-hmm. It's fast enough that they were able to show it in one panel.
Yeah. And also the stupidest bit was that he used the blinkers on the car to spell killing in Morse code, which like to think that he was sitting there killing people and hitting the blinkers. KILLING.
That's amazing, honestly.
That's something I wanted to bring up is something I never look at the title of the chapter when I'm reading it.
Yeah.
So something that consistently happens is we start reading we start talking about the podcast and I have the rankings and I have the chapter names up and then I see it. I was like, man, I wish I would have like Starbucks is scary on Ruri. I was like, oh, that reading the chapter, I kind of wish I knew the title when I was reading it.
No,
and same thing with the KILLING. Like it would have made that final like chapter way better because I would have known the title and I would have been like kind of anticipating that.
Yeah, no, I like the only series that I feel like I really see that for is One Piece, just because of how he does the title pages, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's about it. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's just really solid.
Very action heavy.
Yeah, very
we love that action. It's fucking great.
Heavy dialogue and then heavy action, and like Sakamoto just chef's kiss, does it perfectly. I love it so much.
Exposition in the front half, action in the second half. Solid chapter all around. That's what we like. That's what we like.
Let's bring Bo back in for.
Yeah.
I'm here.
We're gonna talk about your absolute favorite, Elusive Samurai.
Yeah. Is everyone caught up on this? I feel like.
Yep.
I always forget.
Yeah, I caught up a few weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
holy shit.
Before we jump in, cute little news. You can now buy Elusive Samurai physically in English print. I think I got my copy just a couple days early, but now it is in physical print with The Legend of Zelda's Triforce on the back.
What the hell?
So
you read Zelda?
So yeah,
Just better watch out. Nintendo's coming.
Elusive Samurai. Pick it up because it slaps, and owning this art physically and these covers are splendid.
It's worth it. The art is really incredible. We got a really nice shot in today's chapter with like the horse as he like rides up the side of the thing, and then he kind of just went like with the obsidian arrow. I'm just like,
such a cool shot because you can like, I'm looking at it right now. You can like see the soldiers down below and stuff too. Still,
and the angling and stuff too. It's very dynamic.
We talked a lot about probably this having the best art in the magazine, and every time I look at it, hands down. Going through the chapter, I think one of the big things, what I thought was really funny off the bat was, oh my god, Tokisuge with the weird shape and sword and saying that people with weird uncommon weapons will be followed more. He's waving around. The S.
Bro, just wait till Ichigo pulls up, bro. Forget it, it's over. It's like, oh god, that guy's the biggest sword. We have to listen to him. I'm sorry, I just really want to talk about Bleach. Continue.
Oh, we will.
You will get your chance, I promise. But yeah, no, it was a terrific chapter. What? I didn't think we would see resolution and action this fast.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. I did not think this guy was gonna die so fast.
Because
I did not expect that.
Last chapter we talked about this thing possibly turning into a giant monster, which I'm glad we did not see because that would have gone on for an eternity, and I wasn't really itching for another fight to go on until the end of the next goddamn 30 magazines. But But no, I was super happy with the pacing, and just immediately it was really intense too.
Mm-hmm.
Super good.
I think that sorry, Trent, go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
You weren't? Okay, I thought I heard someone say something.
I said yes, and agreement that it was a good chapter.
Okay. Overall, this chapter kind of I don't know. It left a weird feeling in me a little bit because we talked about this a little bit before we started the podcast too, with the whole, do people in this series actually have deals with demons or something, or is it really just they themselves are acting like a demon, and that's why the obsidian arrow, when shot at the head of this force, it just kind of purged him a little bit, right? He freaked the fuck out and acted foolishly just from a little cut. Is this actually demon possession, or is this just him being so fucking nuts? I don't even know.
Evil. Yeah, it's weird.
I was convinced when we initially brought it up, okay, yeah, no, I was right last time. There's demons and shit involved, and that explains the whole eye thing from the first couple chapters. But
they could go either way with it. I mean, because I was thinking it's kind of obviously not holy water, but it's almost like a literal representation of getting hit by holy water or something, right?
Yeah. Basically,
arrow. So they could go lean into the demon stuff, but they still could not. I mean,
and especially for how much of a backbone, as we were talking with the physical volume, they talk all about the literal history of it.
Yeah, actual history.
Actual history, and it's very historically accurate manga. So I would be surprised that it would dip more of its toes into the supernatural, but also with the way Japan is with folklore, I could see it going either way. I just don't think it would go way too much either way either. So
right, and that's another thing. It could be leaning towards that way where it's oh, this person fought like a demon, or this person was so cruel that he was like a demon. Yeah, it could be like that. It could be, and that's also it plays into the visuals, the really artistic style that he's got going. With the giant skull, Aaron Yeager looking motherfucking thing over the war machine, right? That thing, it obviously, it's obviously just a visualization, but it's just confusing sometimes. I don't know, especially when you're reading a magazine full of stuff that covers demons and ghosts and aliens and shit. It's gonna get confusing.
Something that kind of reminds me of is, if you ever hear about kind of Greek history and stuff like that. So much of their culture was intertwined with their mythology and with Greek mythology and their religion. It's a lot of times whenever people find stuff about their history, their kind of religion is intertwined, and you get
No,
Trent.
Trent, no,
No,
no.
you were so in.
He
you were
was
so
on
deep in that.
top of something.
You were so in there.
You were so in there. I was so invested in what you were saying.
Yeah,
Please continue.
super. I was super. Yeah, so
There he is.
in the history of Greece, you get a lot of stories where it's intertwined, where you see like some figurehead, and then like the history will talk about how they experienced some sort of connection with a certain god. So I kind of could see the story of Elusive Samurai. It takes place long enough ago that stuff like that could happen, where we kind of see brand or like a merge between history and almost like Japanese folklore and religion.
Right. In that way, then, do you guys also think the same thing could be like said for what's his name, the priest guy? Is it Yorishige or something like that?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. Do you think he's actually a god, or do they just treat him like that because he's like super lucky and super pious or whatever?
Well,
do you think that's the case?
That's actually a really good example of what I was talking about. Was he a god? That's up for you if you believe in that. But
right.
Throughout history, he was definitely regarded as one. So I think that's kind of the manga likes to kind of see those kind of situations in that light where it was actually supernatural or godly. So
okay, yeah, that puts it into a new perspective for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn, good conversation on this right today.
Really heavy. Yeah,
And we're all
so heavy that Discord couldn't handle it. And just had to leave.
Yeah, and by the way, Elusive Samurai fucking slaps. Like, what
It's
an
so
amazing manga. It has been
I'm
really
glad
good. It has been really, really, really good recently, and seeing it so close to the front of the magazine is just absolutely so exciting because it deserves it. I really like Assassination Classroom, but this just far exceeds what I loved about Assassination
Dude, it's
Classroom.
way better than Assassination
And
I've read the first 70 chapters of Assassination Classroom, and I think Elusive Samurai is 10 times better.
Yeah. And and that's not to say Assassination Classroom isn't good, but this is a work I feel like he almost likes even more. Like I feel like he really, really likes it. Whereas like Assassination
clearly passionate about it.
Yeah, like very like especially when you like look at how much history and studying he's done. Like he clearly puts a lot of. I didn't do this much studying for no fucking project in school, so this is crazy. Like
he paid really close attention in history class. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I think last chapter they had like the little text bubble because they were talking about Yorishige's brother. Or son, sorry. And he literally, like, I don't know if it was being literal, but I think it was. Like, he has, like, scholars working on the manga with him. Like, everything. Like, he really cares about this.
Yeah,
so.
No, there's a lot of details like that. Like, there was a joke, like, way later before we started the podcast where they were in, I want to say it's Kyoto or something. I can't remember where they were. But they did the joke where they was like, that's where the gold pavilion's gonna be. Like
Yeah.
And I was like, just like really cool shit like that, and I really appreciate that stuff, which is awesome. But it's time for doubling back to this episode on Trent and Bo Power Hour. Woo!
Double feature, guys.
Double feature.
Double feature.
Until the next Dr. Stone one shot.
Yeah. All right.
Do we need to talk spoilers, Trent? Do you think?
It's totally up to you guys. Go for it.
It's up to you because
I think I'm good, honestly. It's a good chapter. I can safely say like it's nice seeing Bakugo again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's
it's
based on my thoughts on the chapter.
Seen characters we like. Yeah,
exactly.
If you guys don't want to talk like chapter spoilers, then why don't we just talk about My Hero in general? I mean,
yeah, you've been reading it.
You
want to give us your thoughts? I mean,
right now it's interesting because like I'm remembering everything. It's like a refresher because I used to watch the anime a lot. Aiden too, right?
Yeah, I remember like way back we were like in My Hero.
We were into it, right?
Yeah, we were big into it.
It was good back then, and for good reason because those first few arcs, as I'm rereading them, they really stand out a lot more because of the art. The anime really doesn't do any justice for some of these, man. Like seriously, the art's so fucking good. The Shigaraki panel where he's just like he's with Midoriya at the mall or whatever, just kind of puts his arm where it's just like, iconic. Hey, it's iconic, dude. I got chills, bro. I don't know. Maybe I judged a little bit too harshly, like Thanos with I don't know, some Endgame reference there. Yeah. It's good. My Hero's good. I take back what I said about being way too garbagey for my taste, but I mean, people let me I was anime only.
What arc are you in right now? Are you in the camp arc?
I just finished the camp arc. They just yeah, it was good. It's really, really good.
Peak and what's following it is peak.
Yeah. They're about to go like they're leaving the hospital right now to go save Bakugo from the villains. So I mean that's stuff I'm familiar with. I'm remembering it as I go along, but it's good so far. It's good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of interesting to hear you say that, because when I started, My Hero was one of the first things I read when I started getting caught up on Weekly Shonen Jump like 3 years ago. So at that time, I had actually skipped the first 120 chapters because I had been anime only at that point. So I thought about doing
that. I thought about doing that, but
so I kind of want to go back because I agree that like the anime doesn't do his art any justice, but the thought hadn't even occurred to me that I'm missing out on a lot of big moments where his art would have been able to shine through where the anime.
Yeah, dude.
So
for real,
especially because with how good My Hero's start is compared to the more recent stuff, I think My Hero is starting to like not be as good.
It goes up and down a lot for me.
It does go up and down a lot, and it's been going down for the past, I'd say, like 20, 30 chapters.
Yeah, exactly. Before that 20, 30 chapters, it was really good.
Yeah.
I think the new season of the anime is going to be covering that, so that's going to be good. But
then, season 6, right?
Yeah, I think it's 6.
It's going to start on, like,
one of the best parts of the series.
Arcs.
Yeah, exactly. But then it has like a really low point again. Like they just keep going up and down. So,
well, I mean, at least you get those high points, right? You know,
as
long as
it's worth it. It's not like it's bad. It's just
that too. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just comparatively to
the stuff that the anime covered early on. It's not hitting those peaks.
Okay, random question before we like move on or anything though, or anyone changes the subject. What's your favorite My Hero Academia character?
Aizawa, for sure.
Aizawa? Okay.
Eraserhead.
The last time I saw My Hero, it was Uraraka, and like that was it. And that was years and years and years ago. Like that was like.
I remember the profile pic, the Uraraka profile pic on Amino, dude. I remember.
Yep. Those were the times.
I like Hiroshima a lot.
Kirishima? Okay, Red Riot.
More of a side character. Yeah, red hair.
Yeah. Talking about side characters, someone that I really wish we got to see more of before I guess it's kind of a spoiler.
Okay.
But the guy that can go through stuff. He can phase through their senior.
Oh, is it like Mirio?
Yeah, Mirio.
Yeah, dude, that guy. I don't know that.
I really like Mirio, actually. I thought a lot of people liked him, and then I talked to a bunch of people and they didn't care for him.
I only recognize him because he looks like Lucas from Mother 3.
He does.
Yeah,
he does look exactly like Lucas.
Damn, dude, he dies?
Wait, no. Where'd you get that from?
No,
I thought
just don't do much with him.
Dies. Okay.
No, they just don't do much with him.
Dude, you made me panic. I'm like,
I was just like
immediately saw your reaction. I was looking at he just going like.
I was like, I don't think he died.
No, that's actually that's the main thing I don't like about My Hero is it's a problem a lot of shonen have, which is they have this giant cast of characters and they're all really, really cool, and then you just don't see any of them.
Yeah, and then they also just don't kill off very many characters very often either.
One Piece.
Hey, we don't talk about One Piece this time, man. It's so great.
I'm in Water 7.
My bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast is kind of getting big. It's not as big as it is later on, but I'm sure. But it seems like Oda's pretty good at using them all. For the most part.
No, he is.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
But,
considering how many characters there are,
My Hero, literally, if you're not Deku, Bakugo, or Todoroki, you do not matter. You are out of the story, gone.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it's really sad because Bakugo's cool and Todoroki's cool, but they're not my favorite characters, and neither is Deku.
Even recently, Bakugo, we just saw again for for the first time in 15, 20 chapters. Like,
especially recently, if you're not Deku, you don't matter. So
Exactly.
it's like,
and that's another thing. When it comes to reading the manga, Deku is way less of a pussy for some reason.
Oh no, he's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Deku's good.
Yeah, because
I
they don't
reading the
spend all
manga-
that
manga, I
time
was like,
listening
damn,
to him
Deku's
whimpering.
awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. Like
I
I see him cry one page. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to listen to this for 3 minutes.
Yeah, because they'll draw him crying out for like 10 episodes.
It's like always. It felt like he was always crying in the anime, but this time it doesn't feel as bad. You know? It's good.
You have to hear it.
Maybe the manga really is always better.
That makes it better.
Agreed.
Akane
Let's get
Banashi.
There you go.
Woo,
First
woo.
place.
First
It's
place.
like, yeah,
First
like
place
right in
other
the
than
front of the
Mashele, which-
magazine.
Other than
which is
Crazy.
very exciting. Man, this is a really, really, really interesting chapter. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much like to unravel with what happened in this chapter, which is like probably the first time in a while we keep talking about like, oh, Akane Banashi was really good, but this was good, and we have stuff to talk about, which I feel like wasn't a thing for a while.
Yeah. No, every single time it's always just been like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, so Hiromaru from Bakuman finally steps up to the show.
Hiromaru, bro, this man looks like the tape guy from My Hero Academia.
Oh, he
This
does.
guy looks like
he actually looks way more like the tape guy than he does.
I don't know the tape guy.
What's his name? I don't know his name.
Hero.
Man?
Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah. He looks like that guy.
With Hiromaru's
I
haircut.
mean, he's in like 2 episodes. I don't blame me.
My Hero's a blur to me.
He was in the tournament arc for a little bit. He had a little highlight there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was about it.
Which tournament arc? I feel like
The first one. I don't know. Was there more?
The 30 of them.
But yeah, no, this one was really cool because he took Rakugo and he flipped it on his head, which was very, very interesting. And it's actually why it made me further think of Hiromaru, because he was somebody who walked into a scene and did something very different, which was really interesting. Mm-hmm. And like he didn't really care for Rakugo, and then he put his own little spin on it, and then he did really well. But to see Arakawa, it, despite how he acts, was
like
very interesting because this makes me like, we talked a little bit about it before, where it's like, okay, if he's he's putting on a bit of a face right now, but how much of a face is he gonna put on when Akane steps out on that fucking stage? Like what is he gonna do? And I feel like that facade will crack there, because like.
Yeah, no, I almost feel like he's kind of taking the audience into consideration this time around, instead of how it was like from when her dad did it.
Yeah.
But how much of that is, like you said, a facade and like a fake kind of judgment?
Yeah.
We don't really know, and that's what's going to be great about seeing Akane perform.
Something that gives me more hope that maybe he's not going to be a total asshole is, he did. It's not like he just gave a fake assessment of it. Mm-hmm. He did say, honestly, I didn't care for it. It didn't make me laugh.
Yeah.
But I know that it made the audience, and I do like how you put your own spin on it. Right, so it was kind of cool seeing him say that. So for him to kind of say, man, didn't make me laugh, but good for the audience. But at the same time, maybe that show will crack when Akane gives a really, like, something that I kind of like about this chapter of Akane Banashi is something that it hasn't really done before, where we kind of get to see Akane versus someone else.
Yeah, because they put her in the perspective.
Because they literally put her against him and said he's the opposite. He's like the antithesis of her.
Yeah.
So it's kind of...
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, he did like a story that she's done before, but like a few modern twists on it, and that was like, whoa, okay. Yeah,
it's kind of neat because we didn't need to know Rakugo to know that he put a twist on it. We've seen the story before, and we're able to say, "Oh, that was familiar."
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool for that.
Yeah.
But I could see Arakawa seeing someone that's so experienced as Akane is, and then breaking because she's so much more deep rooted into Rakugo than everyone else. So he might drill into it more because she gives a more traditional.
The first page, he said that he was initially doing like stand-up comedy or something, right? on like the first page. So it's like this is just the next best thing because there's like culture to it or something like that, right?
He's like doing Rakugo sounds more interesting than saying you're a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, basically. But you got anything you want to say on it?
Just echoing what you guys said. I was reading it. I was almost expecting Arakawa to be like offended, being like, "Oh, this isn't like, he seems like the type that would get offended that you even changed anything." I was expecting that to happen, and then he liked it. Well, not he.
He gave it criticism, but not like "fuck you" kind of criticism.
Yeah, I was like, I was expecting him to be like, "This isn't historically accurate. You're fucked. Get out of here."
Which
I was almost expecting that, which would have been not expected. But yeah.
And there was a point where someone said that that's not how he would react. Like he would normally freak out. So that's where I'm really, really interested on what's going on with Arakawa's head right now and what will happen because I feel like they've teased that the way he's acting is not normal, and so something is gonna happen. So I'm very, very interested. Like this has got like a really good, like kind of really tense undertone build up happening here. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah. It is. This is such a refreshing series.
It is. This chapter actually kind of, it's good. I feel like every single time so far we've kind of brushed over it, but this time we had some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we had good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And let's jump into our big boy of the magazine this week, the one we are all currently reading, the one with the sexiest color page ever, Mashele. Can we just talk about that fucking color page for a second? Oh my god, that is that was such a night. Like, damn, they look like K-pop stars. Like, they look fucking good. I was like, damn, he went all in. That man was like,
he's excited, dude.
Like
his kid's getting an anime.
Rohan Kishibe to the paper. I would be geeked. I bet you. Like, he's
Lance looks kind of weird in it though.
Lance looks a little.
His face looks weird.
Mash just looks sexy.
Yeah.
Which is like, damn. Which is crazy. Super exciting chapter. It had a really funny bit for the first time in a while. I was actually expecting, because of this being color page, front page, and anime announcement, that we would get a big Mash trailer or chapter, but obviously they would. I didn't think you'd really
it
rush
make sense with the timing.
Yeah.
Did you say Mash Tray?
Mash Tray?
I meant Mash chapter. Whatever I said.
I'm just like Mash Tray. Okay. I see you.
But yeah, we had a really funny bit with them trying the fucking food and hating it.
Yeah.
They're like,
oh, I thought you were going to talk about Rio, where he's giving his own narration.
That one is also amazing. I love the self obsessive character type. I think that's a really funny archetype too.
Yeah. You guys don't read or watch Reincarnated as a Slime, but there's a character like that in there, and he's fucking hilarious. But my favorite takeaway from this Mashele chapter, sorry to cut you off, is the sand guy. We really are terrible with names again.
Mashele and Elusive Samurai, I am awful at with the names.
The sand guy's threat of shoving sand up this guy's ass so he's pooping sand for and then in the space he's just like, all right. That shit was the best, and that's the greatest. This is why I love this series. Mashele, you're fucking phenomenal, man. Never change. Also, a lot of people are kind of on Twitter talking about it now because of the anime,
which we're gonna get a lot of bandwagon fans, but that's cool. We've been here. We've been here.
Yeah, I was here for the JJK bandwagon shit, dude. When that started, that was.
Oh yeah, that would be an insane one to see. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm very, especially with an anime coming up. I'm very excited to see how Mashele will do. I think the beginning of Mashele is some of the best, just because it introduces the characters really well. It's really, really, really funny in the beginning.
There's so many moments.
And then especially because you're not used to how you don't really have a bearing on how powerful Mash is. So when you get to see him. When you get to see those moments for the first time, you're just it's way more jarring, 10 times more jarring with those moments for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And honestly, bring on the bandwagoners, man, because if this shit keeps getting popular, then I'm all for it.
Absolutely deserves the hype. It's hilarious. It's a great shonen. It's excellent. If you're not, for whatever reason, reading Mashele, I mean, you have a reason if you want to wait to watch the anime, But if you're not, definitely recommend getting caught up. It's one of the best things in Jump right now, hands down. I absolutely love it.
We can all agree on that, right? Yeah.
It definitely deserves. I feel like
for sure.
we constantly see it in the middle of the road, in the middle of the magazine. I feel like it deserves way higher near the front for sure.
At least top 10. Sometimes it's 12, 13.
That's what I mean, for sure.
So it's top 5 for me, honestly.
I kind of wish it would rank how Witch Watch ranks, which is like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Usually.
Right.
Which, you know what?
So
I have no problem with Witch Watch being there.
Yeah, you're a Witch Watch fanboy. We all know.
Yeah. Like sometimes Mashele is like below stuff where it says like why.
Yeah.
Like, why is it below Roboco? And that's like.
Hey,
Roboco's good, but it's just
it's
like
a comedy.
I feel like
it's gonna
Mashele was like
everyone out
really
the waters.
good. So I feel like it shouldn't be like 14th because I don't know. I just said Roboco because I always see Roboco at like 13, 12.
Yeah. And especially because I've seen it under Kokosei a couple of times as well, and also on Undead Unluck, and I feel like Undead Unluck is a series that's just been like this, whereas like Mashele's like this with a little bit of that, and other than that, it's been really good.
Mashele only has one moment that I didn't like.
Yeah. But we're all caught up on it now, and we all agree it's still like really great. So
really good.
if that tells you anything, I mean, we don't always agree on everything on this podcast, but we all agree that Mashele is awesome. So
Mashele's terrific. With that, we wrapped up covering every series this week, except for Let's Talk. We got a brand new Fujimoto one-shot for all our chainsaw simps. We're excited. Trent, I know you just go fucking balls to the wall, bananas. You're not barking at Makima. Tell us about what you think of...
listen to the song.
What's it called? Just listen to the song.
Listen to the song. Yeah.
It's a super interesting kind of message. I think it's kind of cool seeing seeing someone make something and then have it be misinterpreted, I guess.
Yeah.
Is like the main message of it all. It's pretty cute. It had like a lot of cute moments. Or I wouldn't say cute, but
interesting and very
interesting
like
and
heartwarming, or I guess very emotional. I would say probably
heartwarming is a way better.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from this is Fujimoto telling you guys to stop being simps.
That's something I was talking about before the podcast. Is actually, I wonder how much of this is Fujimoto thinking people misinterpret his work.
And I think as an artist, that's a huge, very important thing, because you see that especially when you have like a very artist-based thing. That's a huge trope. You see it in Persona 5. You see it in I believe Blue Period has an art covering that. You see it in a lot of things where people's art and works are misunderstood a lot. And as an artist, as a creator, as a YouTuber, a content creator, filmmaker, you name it, as an artist of some shape or form, that is a very, very huge and common thing, is for your work to be misunderstood or misconstrued a lot. So I think it hit home that way. I also was very interested because the art was done by somebody else, and immediately had to double take because it was so similar to Fujimoto's.
It looks very similar.
I didn't even really tell the difference, to be honest.
I was
also I'm looking at the first page. The main character in this, Fujimoto has like very clearly designed sweat on his characters. The characters in this have that.
Sweat.
You know what I mean?
How do you tell that the person's art is different? There's sweat.
Yes, that's my meter.
Also, like the kind of like more humane, ugly-esque facial expressions. He just like it was drawn, and the angles and stuff. It was drawn like a Fujimoto manga, which is kind of crazy. So it was very interesting to see. It was crazy also to see it was only 18 pages. I feel like a Fujimoto one-shot is normally like 200.
Yeah. I almost wonder if it was like kind of cut short or something, because he's starting to work on Chainsaw Man 2 as well. And so, I mean, that's coming out in a couple of
weeks.
He's
only doing the story, so he probably just wrote out a manuscript and shoved that off to the artist.
It's still good.
It being short, I mean, like, I feel like it being short just kind of, like, made me less favorite. I like it, but definitely not even in the same ballpark as his other two one-shots, Look Back and Goodbye Eri, which I very, very, very much love and praise.
I think it could have been that good if it was longer. But
it's
just
exactly.
Didn't have enough time to, like, leave an impact.
My immediate thought was, like, he has the moment with the girl on the train, and he's sitting there, and she talks about, like, oh, the songs you wrote about, or both of your songs were about us in middle school in art class, and they have that moment at the end where he's like looking down. They're both listening to the songs, and he just like looks
Poor guy.
away, and that's how it ends. I mean, it seemed
Kind of
like,
sad.
it seemed like he was more blushing at the end. He was more like an embarrassed blush. That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting. It definitely felt like it could have been better, longer, but also at the same time, 18 pages suited it very well. It was very well contained. So
Yeah.
I liked
Agreed.
it a lot.
I think it said like you said, it said its piece. It didn't do more than that.
Yeah.
It's not like it needs not everything needs a very long story. I mean, it feels like it was like an average day in the life of a sad man that wanted to tell his crush I liked him, or he liked her, whatever.
So that also, like, just saying its piece and being done is something I think Fujimoto does a lot.
Yeah.
Fire Punch is very much like that. I except in Fire Punch it kind of gets muddled with him being like almost like a beginner writer almost.
Yeah.
Fire Punch is awesome though. You should read it for sure.
Especially if you're a big fan of Fujimoto.
Yeah, if you read, I'd say, I guess that's a good point. If you read Chainsaw Man and you're head over heels for it, Fire Punch is your next thing. Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you love the edginess, because you'll never you
Fire Punch
can't
is
get
much
enough
more
of it.
edgy than Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
But Fujimoto, also with his one shots, very straight to the point, or not straight to the point, but it gets what it said done, and then it's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very excitingly, next week we have next week or the next very soon, because I don't know dates or anything. We get Chainsaw Man.
I think it's next week, isn't it?
It's a week and a half. I think.
A week and a bit.
It's the 14th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
13th.
So we'll probably be talking about it not in the next episode, but the episode after. So
right.
Like I think issue like 33.
Yeah, because we gotta talk about Chainsaw Man. I mean,
of course.
It was in Weekly Shonen Jump, so I feel like we need to whenever it happens.
Yeah. But
speaking of Jump Plus, something I read today, that's very good is called Stage S. It's on its 4th chapter. I think it's very much worth reading, especially it kind of reminds me almost of like Akapi's Original Sin, if you've read that. That's also on Jump Plus, but it's also almost like Chainsaw Man without being edgy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
We also got Anime Expo was a big weekend. But before I blank and forget what I was going to say, which I've already done.
I got something to say, but also go ahead.
I'm trying to hold you back.
Let's say what you have to say, Kia. We know what you have to say.
No, there's something else. I have two things.
Okay.
Got 2 things.
I just remembered. This is a big deal. Saint Seiya is now on the Jump app, which is crazy. Yeah. It's huge. It's a big deal. Obviously, I'm sure we won't see reprints of the original Knights of the Zodiac volumes in English. Or I guess that's its English name, Knights of the Zodiac, or Saint Seiya, known pretty much the rest of the world. Amazing old 80s shonen series. If you like old shonen, Saint Seiya is delicious. Don't watch the anime. It's fucking way too long. I mean,
I know. I watched it. You and I both watched the old anime. And I'm sorry, Dag, if you're listening to this, but holy shit, man. Like, the quality of that, it did not age very well. I'm sorry.
I mean, the fights...
I'm going to read the manga instead.
There's a lot of great moments. There's a lot of cool things in Saint Seiya. But man, does Saint Seiya and Toei Animation know how to draw out fights. But at the same time, it's definitely great. And it's definitely worth checking out. At least the manga, if not the anime, definitely the manga. And now it all 111 chapters, which isn't super long in the grand scheme of shonen nowadays. Definitely worth checking out. It's a grandfather to a lot of shonen and just shonen battle manga especially. So it's 100% worth your time. Saint Seiya's got a great cast of characters, really cool power system, lots of cool Greek mythology references as well. So awesome shonen series. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. And before we let Key go on about Bleach,
it's not just Bleach.
His other thing. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is what you're gonna say. I don't know. I want to say it though, real quick. Starting in 2023, all Jump Plus series are gonna be simul-published in the Manga Plus app. That's awesome.
That's good, but it's not what I'm going for. It's
okay. Go for it. Go. Well, I just wanted to mention that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. That's hype, dude. Don't get me wrong.
That is hype.
This is more hype. I'm sorry, it is. And you're gonna agree with me on this, Bo, because you already know what I'm gonna talk about. Boy, Yuji Kaku is coming back again. He's putting out another series. He got back on that horse, and as soon as it ended, dude, I did ask. He said in his tweet that he'd been working on this for about a month, and dead ass after that announcement, it had been just about 1 month since Ayashimon had ended. So as soon as he was done with Ayashimon,
it was like, all right,
he started writing something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be different. It's gonna be something completely new. We don't know any details yet, but it's gonna be something different from what he's been doing before. Probably in tone, but also just like something that he's never done before. Something he's not comfortable with, right? I'm sorry. I'm just really excited about this. Aiden, you're not looking at me. I can tell you're embarrassed or something.
No, I'm just very much trying to hide my worry over your excitement.
Yeah. Shut up!
Yeah.
I yield much concern for that fast of a turnaround. Immediately I opened that message and I was like, really? Uh-oh. I hope it's on like Jump Plus or something.
No, I hope it's not weekly. I hope it's not weekly.
I'm hoping it's not weekly too. I want it to be on Jump Plus, but I also want to be able to talk about it on the podcast whenever it comes back. Yeah. So if it's on Jump Plus, then
Hell's Paradise was on Jump Plus. So
yeah, his best series was on there. You're not wrong. I'm liking Hell's Paradise a lot, by the way. Good read.
You're reading it?
Yeah, I'm reading it. It's been good so far.
We've also had a couple people mention that they would be interested to hear us talk about Dandadan, Kaiju number 8, and some other things on the podcast. So maybe we will start doing that, just because Dandadan is fucking peak. It is so goddamn good.
Dandadan, me and Key could talk about Kaiju number 8. I know.
Yeah, dude. I'm
sure we could all talk about Spy Family at some point or another.
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
Spy Family is amazing.
Yeah.
I think right now we're just trying to focus on getting caught up on all the weekly stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, for sure.
They did Minecraft in the last chapter of Dandadan, so I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty.
Wait, in Dandadan?
Oh, big Witch
Didn't
Watch
they just do that with fucking Witch Watch? Oh my god!
It was like kind of Minecraft. I was like, but yeah,
Bleach. You know,
that's all. It's just Bleach.
That's all right, podcast boys. Bleach. Thanks for watching.
Bleach is happening. It's getting its anime. It got the trailer.
Was so good.
It's awesome. It's so fun.
Trailer was so good.
I'm gonna be feasting in fall, dude. Because not only are we getting Bleach, we're getting 2 Year Eternity, more Spy Family, so many other things that I can't even think of.
Mob Psycho, which is the other one. Which I'm so fucking excited for. Mob Psycho is one of my favorite animes, so I'm so glad. I actually was a point where I was like, "There's no way it's ever coming back," and we're getting a season 3. We've got a new open.
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you guys want to talk about anime wise from Anime Expo that you can think of?
Ooh,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, Mob was my big one. I'm trying to think. Not off the top of my noggin. I mean, we've officially gotten a key visual for Mashele, which is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Trigun. Trigun's getting a new
Trigun. That's right.
Yeah.
I saw people were not happy with that.
Yeah, I know. I saw some people weren't, but
I saw some people not happy with it.
Fine.
Oh,
I think it looks fine. He doesn't. The biggest worry I have is like I'm very much into that '90s aesthetic of like grunge, like kind of rough.
Yeah. This seems like a lot more modern. It's like a modern.
Old Trigun hits that rough, gritty art style really hard. Where this new art style doesn't seem to be doing it, but it also the new series seems to be hitting a different art style that I like, which is like neon and kind of like over the top kind of.
My brain just remembered a bunch of
vaporwave kind of. I guess.
Yeah, honestly, I know that Rox is really excited for it too. I watched the old anime and I thought it was really great as well.
Oh, it's one of my favorite anime.
The people that are animating it, right, is Studio Orange. They did Beastars, and Beastars animation, even though it's 3D, still looks pretty damn decent. So I think that it's in safe hands. We don't need to worry too much. Just gonna let it be and see what happens.
That's another thing I saw is people were talking about it being CG and complaining about that, but there's moments in Beastars that I've seen which are like kind of goofy, but the trailer we saw for Trigun was really well done. Mm-hmm. It looked like a really cool video. It almost looked like a really cool video game cutscene.
Yeah, I'm
excited to see more of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I totally shit ton of news. So obviously we got a little sneaky peeky from Araki. He checked in with us again, which is super rare. because he just doesn't do social
Yeah, dude, he
media at
dropped a
all.
fucking video message.
Yeah, he did a video message. He showed off some new Stone Ocean art that he just drew himself. Some people were noticing that there might have been some sketches that were completely unrecognizable, so it could be either a new Rohan one-shot or our now long-awaited JoJo Lands Part 9, which is very exciting. Looking very forward to Part 9.
Yeah.
Also, we got a... oh my god. We got a confirmation for Stone Ocean Part 6 anime coming this fall, very soon in September. The next batch of episodes.
The shittiest thing about that is, I think we're gonna end up waiting. Like, I know a bunch of people have been complaining about how Netflix kind of killed the hype for Part 6, but the hype isn't there. And then the next batch of anime is gonna cover what is a lot of people's least favorite arc of Stone Ocean.
So yeah,
there's gonna be no hype, and then there's gonna be some shitty ass fights. Hopefully, the anime makes it better.
Hopefully, I'm not excited for Yo-Yo Ma and Dragon's Dream and Survivor back to back, which will be interesting to see. But the final arc,
Planet Waves, which is also a pretty shite fight.
Yeah,
I still haven't even seen the first batch of episodes, so I'm good. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, you might as well wait till the end.
Yeah, might as well wait.
Can you guys, not to derail it a little bit, can you guys explain to me the hatred at Netflix? Because this is the way anime is always released, right?
No.
But like you look at Demon Slayer or something, and that you have to wait 3 years for a season. I don't understand the.
So
I feel like people don't like Netflix.
It's not the wait, because we don't mind. It's the splitting up a series, but then also just it comes out 12 episodes, poof. And then it's going to be 8 months. It's actually almost been a year.
Okay,
it's actually almost been a year, and then it's just going to be another 12 episodes. And after that first couple of days of those 12 episodes being out, people aren't talking about Stone Ocean anymore. Whereas when it was releasing weekly, you're talking about it every Friday, on the Friday. And it keeps the hype up. That's where most of the community is. I know a lot of people are pissed about it just being so long, which I don't mind.
Most of what I've seen on Twitter is people just being like, oh, I have to wait until fall to see more.
Yeah,
that's how any TV works.
I don't mind the wait till fall. It's but it's been a calendar year. Whereas if you spread out the 12 episodes, it would have only been a couple of months before the next batch. So that's what just makes it so much worse.
Okay.
It's sorry, go ahead.
It's something I'm not as much into the community, but I know a lot of people in the JoJo's community really liked. Like they would always say, JoJo's Fridays.
JoJo Fridays were fucking excited.
They're excited for it, and they're like, every week was a new episode or a new fight or something.
Yeah, and it would especially with JoJo, it was almost an event. When something big happened, there were so many memes. There was just so much hype around the community. Same thing with JoJolian. It was just every time something new JoJo dropped, there was just a lot of hype, and the community just got really excited, which was awesome to see. Yeah. Especially just waiting to see how things were adapted one by one. Was really exciting, or being will this episode cover this, or yada yada. So it was just very interesting, and then to kind of take that away from the JoJo community just really was a big shot in the face, especially because then you have Netflix, who clearly is all over the map. They're doing Komi weekly, but 3 weeks behind. They're batch dropping a bunch of other. So it's just make up your fucking mind how you're gonna do anime. Please. I could do a whole rant about Netflix. But another little cool thing is the Slam Dunk movie. We're getting a Slam Dunk movie is confirmed for December 3rd in Japan, which is very, very exciting. I haven't read or watched Slam Dunk, but I very much want to.
I know that it's a localization thing or something that holds it back, but why don't we always get simultaneous releases worldwide? Because then I have to wait a year for a movie to come out. I'm still waiting for the Quintuplets movie. It's one of my favorite romance.
We're getting closer. I feel like we're closing the gap more and more as we go.
The One Piece one is supposed to release worldwide, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Why can't we do that? What is One Piece doing that these other people can't do?
Yeah. Also, Mushoku Tensei Season 2 got a trailer, which is very exciting. That's the only good isekai that exists, at all.
That's not true.
That's not true. But...
there's a couple. There's a couple.
There's a handful. Okay, there's a handful out there that are good.
For as many as there are, it's a pretty low percentage.
Look, if you want a good isekai experience, you have to read the light novels to get the full experience because they leave some stuff out. An example of that, And I know you don't like to fucking read. I don't either.
Do you expect me to read?
How you can barely get me doing manga? Let me.
An example of that is Overlord. Overlord's getting its 4th season. I've been waiting for this for a really long time, and it's finally getting its 4th season. Right. The manga or the light novels are so much darker than the anime. After like reading them and stuff, I didn't really read the novels. I just kind of breezed through them and went over some stuff that didn't happen in the anime that was in the novels. But holy shit, it's a dark ass thing, and then the anime doesn't do it very much justice. But all the same, I have nostalgia for it. It's one of those shows I was watching back in like 2015, 2016, and to see it finally get a 4th season's pretty big. Yeah. So to say that there's only one good isekai, man, I'm just saying you haven't seen enough isekai.
No, it's only a handful. I swear to God, it's only like a couple dozen.
I'll give you a handful. I'll give you a handful because most of them are absolute garbage. But there is still at least a handful.
It is the most like oversaturated shitty genre where like 90% of them just do the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly. They do the exact same thing, but there's a twist. That's their selling point.
Yeah.
I got summoned into a world, but I'm the demon. That's the selling point. Okay, next. Anyways, what else do we haven't talked about? I feel like we've been going for like 2 hours.
It's like our longest episode.
Yeah, this is definitely our longest episode, which is crazy because
no One Piece, no Jujutsu what happened here. I don't.
Well, Anime Expo happened, dude. Yeah. Anime Expo happened.
We had a lot to talk about. I mean, I guess a One Piece or a one shot. Yeah, I guess pretty much just kept us going. There was a lot.
Yeah. We did have to talk about 2 one-shots. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I think with that we're good to wrap. This is issue 30.
Oh, the episode.
31?
31.
Sorry, yeah. 31. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Out of it.
We've been manga panel. Ahead of us.
Yeah. I'm skipping the when One Piece comes out. I'm skipping the when One Piece comes out.
Got the Time Paradox Ghost Rider treatment.
Yeah.
Just reading issues from the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode
of Manga Panel. Later.
Yep, see you later.
See you in issue 31.